In his most recent IFL TV interview, Eddie Hearn said that if the Usyk-Fury fight falls through, then Anthony Joshua is willing to step in and face Tyson Fury this summer. That's if he gets past Jermaine Franklin first. Now, Fury and his dad seem fixated on this Francis Ngannou fight. That's been a fight that Fury has been talking about for quite some time now. I want to say maybe the past year. It's a much easier fight than the Anthony Joshua fight realistically. As far as money, it's going to bring an awful lot of money in, particularly if they have it, let's say, in Saudi Arabia. I can imagine the Saudis paying a huge amount for that. Would the Fury-AJ fight be even more lucrative? Possibly, but it comes down to risk-reward again, doesn't it, for Tyson Fury? I've got no doubt personally, I know other people disagree, but I've got no doubt personally that at this stage, Tyson Fury would fight Anthony Joshua. I think he was genuine. I know, again, other people see it differently, but I think Tyson Fury was genuine when he tried to fight Anthony Joshua at the back end of last year. But if given the choice between Ngannou and AJ, I suspect Fury would prioritize the Ngannou fight right now. Maybe fight him first and then fight Anthony Joshua afterwards. Two colossal paydays back to back. And as far as AJ, I personally think he's always fancied the Fury fight. And I think up until recently, all of his team fancied the Fury fight as well. But obviously after the second loss to Usyk, the mental breakdown in the ring afterwards, I think maybe they got cold feet. They wanted to see AJ come back, have some rebuilding fights before going in there against the Gypsy King. But Eddie Hearn is sounding more confident again about putting AJ in there with Tyson Fury, as long as he gets past Jermaine Franklin. Also, I saw an interview with Derek James, AJ's new trainer, and given the choice between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, he said he would like to see Anthony Joshua fight Tyson Fury. His reason was the fight means more, but I wonder whether there's also a stylistic element to it as well, whether Derek James feels that Tyson Fury's style suits AJ better than Deontay Wilder's style, because AJ is a very methodical fighter, very structured. Deontay Wilder is a freestyler. And with Tyson Fury, he freestyles too, but it's not as erratic. It's not as unconventional as what Deontay Wilder does. So I'm wondering whether Derek James thinks that Wilder's style would actually be more of a problem for AJ than Tyson Fury's style. That doesn't mean that that'll actually be the case in the ring, but I'm wondering whether he thinks that, because of course, styles make fights. Muhammad Ali knocked out George Foreman, who wiped out Ken Norton and Joe Frazier early. But whenever Ali fought Joe Frazier and Ken Norton, they gave him absolute fits. Styles make fights. I think it's fair to say that Tyson Fury has an American boxing style. And I know some people don't like when labels are put on styles like this is Mexican style, that's American style, this is European style, and so on. But realistically speaking, there were certain styles that came out of the United States which were extremely rare to see in the UK. I'm old enough to remember. But over time, British fighters and British trainers started copying what they saw their favorite American fighters doing and some of their favorite American trainers. And so gradually, British fighters moved away from the very upright, hands high, leaning back style to a more relaxed, wider stance, more fluid type style, which, as I say, really came from America, or at least it was popularized in America. So Tyson Fury, as far as I'm concerned, has got kind of an American style, that slick, shoulder roll and all that kind of thing. I know he's changed it a bit under Javon Sugar Hill, or Sugar Hill Stewart as he's called now. The Kronk style is a bit more textbook, but it's still an American style. Derek James, being an American trainer, he's come up against these styles, whether it's the slick shoulder roll stuff or whether it's the Kronk style. His fighters have faced that in the ring on numerous occasions. Derek James, I suspect, knows how to deal with what Tyson Fury is doing in the ring better, perhaps, than Rob McCracken or the other trainers that AJ's worked with so far. So, again, maybe that's why Derek James is keen, it would seem, on the Tyson Fury fight, because he thinks he can get AJ to do what is necessary to break Fury's construct down and get to him. And perhaps that's also why Derek James apparently selected Jermaine Franklin as AJ's next opponent because, according to Eddie Hearn, it was the training team that were primarily responsible for selecting Jermaine Franklin. Franklin being an American fighter, having those slick moves that Derek James is familiar with. Maybe he sees this as practice, even though Jermaine Franklin is a much, much, much shorter fighter than Tyson Fury. Some of the moves that he has may be somewhat similar. And so maybe Derek James thinks AJ can practice his tactics to some extent that he may use against Tyson Fury, practice some of the punches and moves, methods of breaking an American style down. Who knows? And lastly, I'm sure there will be some people who think that Eddie Hearn is just clout chasing, that he has no intention of putting Anthony Joshua in there against Tyson Fury anytime soon, even if the Usyk Fury fight falls through. He just wants to keep Anthony Joshua's name on everybody's lips. And so by associating him with Tyson Fury, he manages to do that. I'm not saying that's the case, but I know there are going to be people out there making that argument. But let me hear from you. Make your case and your argument in the comment section below.
Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.